This presentation is about Art Nouveau engagement rings, and it is brought to you by QualityVintageEngagementRings.com. Now, if you are shopping for a vintage or an antique ring or any other type of jewelry, you're going to find that this jewelry dates back to specific decorative periods that occurred between the 1700s up until like the 1940s. This time frame is divided out into 6 decorative periods, and each of those jewelry periods have very unique styles and designs that were used to create the jewelry of the time. This presentation is just focusing on the Art Nouveau period, which occurred between about 1890 to 1910. It's hard to really pinpoint exactly which years each of these periods occurred because they did kind of overlap, but for the most part it was, the last part of the 1800s and the early 1900s that this jewelry style was predominant. Now, the Art Nouveau engagement rings, Art Nouveau actually means new art, and they were all about new designs, new styles. It was taking the classic jewelry style and bringing it to a new level of a little bit more modern style and design for the time. They started using a variety of gems and metals. They didn't have a specific gemstone such as diamonds, and they used many different types of metals for the settings of these rings. And the style of Art Nouveau is strongly influenced by Japanese art. At the time, people were becoming more aware of, the Asian culture, and the Japanese art and the Japanese culture was very mystical to the people here in the United States, and so they were very curious about the style, and that was reflected in many of the designs. The designs were very mystical. They featured things such as dancers and mermaids and dragonflies, and many of the designs also focused around nature. They used things such as flowers and insects, plants, animals, peacocks. Any of those nature type of things were used to create the designs, and there were intricate details that mimicked these objects. All of the lines were very soft. It was a very feminine style and just beautiful decoration on the rings and the jewelry. And most of these pieces tell a story. The artists who designed the pieces, they weren't just looking for the aesthetics of the jewelry piece. They were telling a story in the objects that were included in the designs, in the mystical art and the nature. It was all symbolic to the artist, and so there was, a magical story behind each piece. And you will find one thing that is unique to this decorative period is that some of the jewelry pieces contain what looks like a stained glass look. Not a lot of the other jewelry pieces or jewelry time periods use that look, but they would melt down materials to create kind of a stained glass look on the ring or on the jewelry piece. So that gives you just kind of a general overview of the Art Nouveau engagement rings. If you want more details about this decorative period or about any of the other decorative periods as well, you can check out our website. We've got also some pictures and some specific rings so that you can see what the designs look like and get a good idea that way. Again, our website is www.QualityVintageEngagementRings.com.